Yeah. Yeah. Being a duo is fine, but we much prefer our trio.
Oh, yeah.
So, welcome to Love on the Pod, a podcast about all the cheesy TV movies we love and adore. I'm Sherri.
I'm Jessica.
And Danielle, as we said, is not here, but hopefully she's going to listen.
Yeah.
And enjoy.
You better. Yeah.
Today we are going to be talking about a reality bite, a Hannah Swensen Mystery, not to be confused with the 1994 Winona Ryder and Ethan Hawke movie.
Not the same.
Not the same.
I haven't seen it, but
reality
I'm assuming
they're not even close. I kind of wish we were talking about that one. But we're going to dive in and talk about this murder mystery.
Yes.
And see if it's any different from all the other murder mysteries. So I'm going to give you a little summary. When her beloved bakery, the Cookie Jar, becomes the set for a popular reality TV show, Hannah Swensen finds her life turned upside down. The on-set chaos quickly escalates, and the show's demanding producer is found murdered, plunging Hannah and her partner, Norman. Okay, this is from ChatGPT. It's not her partner, it's her friend, Norman, into a new investigation.
ChatGPT wants them to be partners. They
Honestly,
want to couple them up.
I do too. As they sift through a cast of quirky characters and hidden agendas, Hannah uses her keen observation skills and baking expertise to uncover the truth. Adding to the drama, Hannah is also pulled into a courtroom case by Chad, balancing her sleuthing with unexpected legal involvement. I don't know how to do that is really either. She just goes and watches him in court one day.
And also, can we stop using the name Chad?
Oh my gosh.
Let's just take that off the table as an option, okay?
If you've ever been a Bachelor or Bachelorette fan, Chad will always remind me of the villain Chad on The Bachelor, and your sister Hallie knows the whistle that he whistled in the woods. I don't remember it, but we'll maybe have her on the show sometime and she can do the Chad whistle. Yeah, Chad's not no, we don't want Chad.
No.
Amidst the TV reality spectacle and legal entanglements, boy, I can't speak tonight. Hannah must rely on her intuition and the support of her close-knit community to solve the murder and restore peace. So this movie is starring Ali Sweeney as Hannah, Victor Webster as Chad, Barbara Niven as Dolores, who is Hannah's mom, and Gabriel Hogan as Norman. Released on February 6th of 2025, directed by Kevin Leslie. It's based on the book Blueberry Muffin Murder by Joanne Fluke, and it is written in part by Joanne Fluke and also Allison Sweeney.
Oh. She also wrote the Christmas movie that she was in.
Oh, did she?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
Have you seen any of the other Hannah Swensen movies?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you knew what to expect.
I knew what to expect. Yeah.
She finds a lot of dead bodies in her bakery, guys. It's not good. This is a cursed bakery.
It's a tale as old as time. Yeah. So, but we'll dive into it. I didn't hate it. I don't want you to think I hated it. Please keep listening.
But it's interesting that it was based on the book called Blueberry Muffin Murder, because I wondered why she was like so focused on talking about the blueberry muffins.
Yeah,
that's why
she was really trying to.
I don't know, to shoehorn that in there.
I was thinking she just baked way too many, and she really wanted people to take them off her hands.
Yes.
Filmed in Maple Ridge, British Columbia, and they used Gratia Bakery. I'm not sure.
Hey Google, please help us.
Gratia Bakery and Cafe as a backdrop for Hannah's Cookie Jar Bakery.
And you know what? There's also a location in Langley I saw, and I'm wondering if that's the one that Dani went to, because their case looked very similar to the video she took, but I don't know. I don't know if she mentioned what it was actually called.
Okay. Yes, because on our last podcast,
we're trying accents tonight.
Yes. Podcast, Danielle talked about her trip up to Langley to visit the one called the Heart Set. And now I'm jealous and I want to go myself. So we've been talking about doing that on another adventure.
Gratia.
Okay.
Gratia.
The Gratia Bakery and
thought,
Cafe.
Like, Gratia. Is it like something fancy? No.
I know.
Gratia.
Like French? No, it's not. So initial thoughts.
Initial thoughts. I mean, I liked it for what it was.
Yeah.
You expect that this baker is going to find somebody murdered again, and that's the thing that literally all of these movies are based on. Somebody who has no business being involved in a murder.
Yep.
Finding a body and then inserting themselves into the investigation or
fairly aggressively
solving.
Yeah.
Because the police apparently are incompetent and don't get obvious clues.
Have you considered dusting for fingerprints?
Looking at what was on his laptop screen. Have you thought about doing
That's in my notes. No. Dang it. Hannah, you really should be on the police force because we wouldn't have thought of these basic
Sorry,
things.
the DA was too busy running around checking for filming permits to be actually doing his job.
Like, that would be his job. Yeah. Just came to see if your permits are all in order.
You're a prosecuting attorney. Why are you here? What are you talking about?
Yeah. So, okay, I have to laugh because Jessica is usually not sitting next to me when we do this, and now she can see how giant my notes are because I don't know, I'm probably legally blind at this point, but
didn't even notice.
It was with the hope that I wouldn't have to wear my glasses. Anyway,
the ship has sailed.
Yeah, my initial thoughts were it was exactly what I expected it to be. And at this point, I would not be visiting her bakery because she's always finding dead bodies, whether they're outside the bakery or inside the bakery or at the club that she works out at, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dead bodies kind of happen to follow Hannah wherever she goes. So,
but Alison Sweeney is a joy to watch.
She is.
I love her.
She's so beautiful, and she's not overly done up.
No.
And she wears normal women clothes. It's not like her mom.
Oh, her mother.
And we'll get into her too, but she cracks me up, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
So let's just dive in. So we open with Hannah narrating about the baking process, and while scenes of a home robbery play in the background, and the thief is smashing the window before departing.
Because we all know how similar baking and burger are.
Yeah.
I mean, she painted a very vivid
She
picture.
did, and I should have written down some of
they're
these
the
points.
Same, guys. They are the same.
But when they said that the thief when they figure out the thief always smashes the window before they leaves, I was thinking about the wet bandits and the sticky bandits.
Calling card.
Yeah, leaving a calling card.
Isn't that like the worst thing a criminal can do is tie all of your crimes together?
You want links between every crime you've ever done. Did Home Alone not teach you anything?
Yeah, come on now, guys.
So Hannah, she brings some baked treats to her mother's theater rehearsal. Her mom is in a play, and I just think she's so funny. She's so theatrical. She's rehearsing for a play, but she's wearing diamond necklaces and fancy dresses, and her hair and her makeup's all done, and people are just rolling their eyes. I thought she was funny, but she's an over the top character who she kind of in this one she inserts herself a lot in the investigation as well, which I don't remember that so much from prior Hannah Swensen movies, but yeah, her mom is really playing an integral part of the investigation.
Yeah, I feel like in other movies she's pretty busy just criticizing Hannah. At which she did a fair amount of in this movie too.
For sure.
But she reminds me of like an older, modern Rosemary Coulter a little bit with the theatricality, especially at the beginning of When Calls the Heart when she was, pretty judgy.
Yeah.
People didn't really like her that much,
sure.
That kind of thing. She puts on this accent, this fake accent that she embodies when she's putting on a show for people.
We should try on some accents.
Yes.
Just throw them in here and there.
Yes. Let's be Madonna.
Johnny Depp. So we learned that the Connie Mack show is going to be filming at the Cook Jar. This is a last minute thing. It's a reality show. It's a cooking show. And Hannah's very excited that this cooking show is coming to her bakery. It was very, very last minute. And the show's producer, Hunt, comes in to go over details. It was a very last minute location change is what happened. And he greets Hannah with a fist bump. And Norman, I just love Norman. He reaches out his fist for a fist bump, and the guy just ignores him.
Yeah.
I want to see Hannah and Norman get together.
Yes.
I love them together. I think they have great chemistry. He's obviously pining over Hannah and has been for quite a long time.
Yeah.
But she sees him as a friend or brotherly type.
Yeah.
But he just he hangs around, crushing on Hannah. And I never really liked her with Mike in the other movies. Now that is Cameron Matheson. He's moved on to GAC. And I think Chad is very, very similar in the way that he talks to her. Not really condescending, but more like, oh, Hannah, like he's the older guy and she, she's got a lot to learn or whatever. And that's how I feel with Chad as well.
Yeah, because instead of having like a best girlfriend, she has Norman, who's like her best guy friend.
Yeah.
And
sometimes that's the greatest foundation for a relationship. Yeah. And I wrote, plus his name is Chad.
Yes.
And he doesn't eat sugar.
And he doesn't eat cookies.
No.
And no shade to Victor Webster. I love Victor Webster.
Oh yeah, he's great.
But yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like they just were like, let's find a replacement for Cameron Matheson's character, which I think they could have stuck a woman in there maybe.
Yeah.
They could have, I don't know, done something fun. Who knows?
Yeah, and does there have to be a romance? Maybe they just fight crime and you see this character development between Hannah and Norman and you get that will they, won't they, hopefully someday. But we'll see.
Yeah, or maybe even that person is somebody for her sister, although it seems like she may be flirting with the police officer.
Yeah, so I got the feeling they were kind of together.
Maybe they're going to expand on that in the future. Who knows?
So Hannah finds out she's going to be able to help cook some of the treats for the show because Connie Mack is much too busy doing all the other showbiz stuff to be bothered with actually cooking on her cooking show, which gave me pause. Made me wonder if it's like a Christmas in Connecticut situation, and we find out that
exactly what it is. We've got a Christmas in Connecticut situation on our hands.
Yeah,
it's in my notes.
Yeah.
You have not seen that movie? Go and watch it. It is wonderful. Watch the 1993 or whatever it is version.
The one directed by Arnold Schwarzenegger, starring Diane Cannon.
Yeah. It's so good.
It's a classic.
So good.
But you want to talk cheesy,
but wonderful. And maybe it's because it was just part of my childhood. Maybe it's an Ebby situation.
Well, you watch it now and you're like, good Lord, what is this?
So good.
Yeah. So good. Love that one.
But there was a scene where they cut into the cafe and where she's sitting down talking to Hunt. And before they show them talking, they showed a scene of a coffee roaster spinning beans in the cooling tray. And I was like, what? Why are we doing this? She owns a bakery. Yeah. Nobody has ever said that she roasts coffee.
No.
She all of a sudden roasts coffee.
Yeah.
It's not like they repeated those throughout the movie where they had these like inset shots of things happening in the bakery. No, it was just
the roasting coffee.
I'm like, did the owner say you have to show off my roaster or
maybe? Yeah.
And then you see the roaster behind the counter just sitting there. This giant roaster that's probably a $30,000 or $40,000 roaster connected to nothing. Like it's just sitting there. Like they just roll it around and play with it. Like, oh, it's so funny. So anyways, we roast coffee, my husband and I do, so that's why
you would pick up on that. Yeah. No, in Hannah's bakery, she's giving out the sweet treats in a drip coffee. She's not.
Even if she's making espresso, I don't think she's like, hold on real quick, let me go take 8 hours to roast some coffee for you. She only has one employee.
True. Yeah.
Who can apparently bake like 300 pies in a day. So she's very talented
Hannah's
in a home kitchen.
Crimes.
Yes.
So meanwhile, back at the police station, Chad, who is the DA, now I don't understand why he's always at the police station. Doesn't he have an office?
I don't know. Maybe because Lake Eden is so small, it's all
could
the
be
same.
Like the city hall, all the stuff.
Yeah, and I kept thinking he was the DA, but then I looked it up and it said he was the prosecuting attorney for the township. So I guess that would be the equivalent of a DA, maybe for the area.
Okay,
but yeah, maybe it's so small that they are all. I mean, in the town where I live, it's city hall, police, and fire all.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, because at the beginning of the movie, because I hadn't seen another one with Chad in it, I thought he was a police officer, and then I realized, oh no, he's an attorney.
No, he's not. So I just can't get over him showing up on the set asking for permits. It's just so weird. If you're a prosecuting attorney out there and you spend your time doing that, please send us a message because I want to hear about why we're doing this.
Right? I expected him to pull out a badge or something.
It's like, I just want to make sure your permits are straight. Okay, what?
So Chad is putting together a case against the jewel thief who has now been caught. They just kind of throw that in there.
We don't know how, but
Lloyd Chasely.
Yes.
He apparently stalks women with expensive jewelry and then breaks into their home while they're away. Chad invites Hannah to come and watch the trial against Lloyd, which she's very excited about that.
Well, and she's like, I didn't know you could do that. I'm like, what? You didn't know you can go to the courthouse and watch pretty much?
Absolutely can.
Not all of them are open to the public, but you can go and watch a lot of them.
Oh, yeah. When I was like in 7th, 8th grade, we took a field trip and we saw one that we should not have seen. Yeah, the teachers just let us kind of rain in Seattle, and we all went, and we were in the front row, and it was, I won't even go into it.
Was it a bad one?
It was a bad one, and the guy was not much older than us. And he kept looking at us girls, and we were like, this is weird. Yeah, it's weird.
It is weird.
So, I digress. So at the bakery, Connie Mack has not shown up yet. They're all bustling around getting all the treats ready for the show. Hannah's getting a little freaked out. Where's our host? She comes rushing in at the last moment. So she can't possibly help with anything. No. And then I start thinking, okay, this is definitely a Christmas in Connecticut situation. She waits until everything is done because she doesn't know how to do anything. She is talking about a red velvet cake and how she's going to stir in some stuff. And Hannah corrects her on it. It's very delicate. You have to fold it in. And that doesn't go well with Connie Mack. And she slides a piece of pie off the counter where Hannah's crouched down to hand her thing and drops the pie right on her head. What a horrible, horrible person.
I'm like, is this what Martha Stewart is like?
Oh,
I think it is.
I've heard stories.
She's told stories about how she's not a nice person.
Yeah, and she will fire people on the spot for correcting her. So, yeah. So, Connie doesn't actually know anything about baking. She was hired as the face only of the show while the crew prepares everything. Okay, that's done with that page. Day 2, Hannah arrives at the bakery to find the door locked and the crew waiting outside. Dun, dun, dun. Something's going to happen. Upon entry, Hannah finds that Hunt, the producer, is dead on the floor, his laptop next to him, and it's open. Of course, she yells, call 911, nobody come in. Hannah goes to the police station where she just happens to be able to eavesdrop on Evan, he is the food stylist.
Yeah.
He's a chef by trade, but he's a stylist for the Connie Mack show. He really wants to be the face of the Connie Mack show, but alas, he is not. He's being questioned by the police because, of course, everybody that was there needs to give their statement.
And she's literally sitting right outside the door, like, in what world?
They're in this open cubicle. They're not taking him to a closed door office. It's just open and she's just leaning in, listening. That would happen.
Maybe it would. Maybe in some places it would.
Maybe it's a small town. Who knows? Maybe that's the only room they have. So, the wife of Hunt is unreachable. They haven't been even able to tell her about his demise. So Hannah goes to Chad to tell him that when she found Hunt, his laptop was open to a website about the Lloyd Chasely trial. He's the thief. And Chad seems surprised about this information because you wouldn't collect any evidence when you're on scene of an alleged homicide or a supposed homicide. So Thank God for Hannah. I mean, she's a whiz with a spatula and a whiz with solving crimes, because the police wouldn't have thought to even look at his laptop.
No, they would have just closed it and thrown it in the trash.
Probably.
We don't need this. I mean, if you listen to true crime, you know that there are some police departments out there that might.
True.
The camera just moved. So hello. What is happening?
It's
has a mind.
Okay, this is the Jessica show now.
Yeah,
I'm here.
I'll try to mime what you're saying.
Well, I did say nobody wants to see this because I went to a bar class and I haven't even showered.
Okay, I'm gonna try.
Oh, this is. I'm coming back. Hey, hello. Welcome to Love on the Pod.
Okay. We'll see how long that lasts.
That was weird.
Okay.
Okay, so if
it was loud enough.
If you're
maybe because I waved. It's like, I'm over here.
If you're actually watching this as well as listening, you know what we're talking about. Our camera just shifted all the way over to Jess and get that old lady over the screen. Where were we? Oh, the laptop. Okay. Yes. So yeah, Chad seemed surprised about this information. You would have thought it would have been confiscated, but good thing Hannah has sleuthing skills. So Hannah and her sister follow Connie and her wardrobe assistant, Louise, to try to get some information about the crime. Connie seems to have a jaw injury. She keeps rubbing the side of her face. And of course, Hannah thinks, there must have been a struggle. She's the culprit.
Mm-hmm.
She must be involved in Hunt's death. Perhaps some kind of a struggle caused a jaw injury.
Yeah.
I didn't buy it. I thought that was too obvious.
Yeah.
There must have been something else going on. So she goes back to the bakery. It's being treated as a crime scene. She's sporting her second swishy puffer jacket. I noticed she had a couple of those. Yeah. She dresses very normal, which is great. Yeah. But it was very swishy. I could hear it. Yeah. And she's told she has to leave because it is now considered absolutely a crime scene.
Mm-hmm.
So accompanied by Norman, Hannah goes to the hotel where the Connie Mac crew are staying to try to get some information about Hunt's death, where they again run into Louise and learn that the taping of the show has been moved to another location. So no more reality show at Hannah's cookie jar.
You know what, though? I thought it was so funny how Hannah acted so shocked that they were not going to be able to reopen the bakery that day. I'm like, literally somebody just died in your bakery. You're anxious to get back in there.
Yeah, they
just make some cookies.
Rolled out the body.
God.
Maybe. I mean, yeah. You want to just get right back in there and start baking? You don't know who's done this. Somebody's died in your bakery.
No, and you want to treat it. I'm not a police officer, right? And I don't know. But you want to treat every crime scene as though it is an actual crime until you can prove that it is not.
Absolutely.
Not the other way around, in case anybody had any question about that.
Yeah. And if there's a laptop, you might want to check on it.
You should get
just saying.
I've seen text on that.
Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, so it's been moved to another location. Norman is her faithful sidekick, trying to help her sleuth in between his dental patients.
Yes.
So Hannah's forced to fill cookie orders from her home kitchen with the help of her sister?
Yes.
Her sister Lisa and her mom Dolores and Norman. And as they box up the cookies, they chat about the murder, trying to figure out who done it, even though Hannah shouldn't be sharing information with anybody. And Chad shouldn't be sharing information with Hannah. It's this whole thing, but they're all going to weigh in and try to figure out the case.
Did you notice, though, when she was leaving the bakery after they told her you can't be here, the pastry case was full? I'm like, was that from last night? You just left it in there?
Just throw those out. Oh, yeah. That's weird.
Yeah.
So after a little bit more digging, it turns out that Connie does not have a jaw injury. She has a cracked molar, which Norman fixes for her. So now Evan is on Hannah's suspect list. He wanted to produce the show. but it went. Oh, I said, but it went to Evan. No, it didn't. It went to Connie.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to produce. Furthermore, Hannah is beginning to wonder if
it went to Hunt, right? Hunt was the producer.
Oh, Hunt was the producer.
Yes.
Correct. That's right. Furthermore, Hannah is beginning to wonder if the jewel heist could be related to Hunt's murder.
I don't know. Could be, or could they be two completely separate stories that they're telling in one movie? I don't know.
Doubtful. But Hannah is so perceptive that she's starting to put things together.
Yep.
She shares her suspicions with Chad, and he promises to check into it to see if he can find the link. Once again, it's great that Hannah is there to show the police just how to do their jobs. And yeah, because they wouldn't have figured that out either.
Nope. Did you notice that Hannah's sister looks nothing like her or her mom?
Yeah.
It's very weird. Maybe she's adopted. Yeah.
So as Hannah's sharing this information with Chad, they're walking down the street and a car comes out of nowhere. I'm sorry why I should be laughing at this, but and tries to run down Hannah.
Mm-hmm.
Chad pulls her out of the way, and his response is, "Such an odd street to be speeding on." She just got mowed over. How odd. So, and it's just, he pulls her in, and it's, I don't know, it just feels so forced. I just don't feel their chemistry.
It's like a weird side hug.
Yeah.
It's like if the girl has a crush on the guy, and the guy thinks they're just friends, and he's like, "Oh, buddy."
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I don't know why she was showing up here, but Louise, we talked about, she's the wardrobe assistant. She shows up at the rehearsal hall where Hannah's mom, Dolores, is practicing her play. Do we know why she went there?
No, and there's no reason. She never says why she's there. She gets out of there as fast as she can. She's like, "I don't have time. I gotta go."
Yeah, I don't.
Then why are you here?
I don't recall anybody ever saying, "Why don't you stop by, or can you give us some tips on wardrobe?" But she just shows up.
It's very weird.
It's very strange. But they get to chit-chatting, and Louise is very obviously at this point checking out the jewelry that Dolores and her friend Victoria are wearing. Mm-hmm. So I wrote in big letters, "Clue." Mm-hmm. I had my suspicions about her from the start, but then I wasn't sure how it's all going to fit together. Who is she in relation to this Chasley guy? Mm-hmm. So as Hannah continues to sniff around the hotel where Connie Mack has been staying, she's learning from the concierge, Bobby, I think his name was, that Hunt was in a heated discussion on his phone while dining in a hotel restaurant the night before he was killed. Mm-hmm. She's assuming that it's his wife. Yeah. That she got angry about something. Maybe Hunt's been fooling around on her. She doesn't know, but she assumes that that's what he's talking to. Mm-hmm. From there, Hannah has lunch with her mom, her sister, and Norman, where they continue to discuss the case. Dolores, I wrote, she's a hoot. Evan is overlooked for promotion as producer. Now that's motive for murder, the mom says. Mm-hmm. Then Hannah tells the group about the heated phone call, and Dolores said, "I knew it, a marital dispute." So no matter what Hannah says, that's what happened.
I knew it.
Yeah. So maybe he was stepping out on his wife, the dirty rat, she says. I must be here to offer my expertise, is what Dolores said, because she knows more than anybody.
Yes. So the group comes up with a plan to offer free dental checkups for jail employees in the hopes of gaining information, because they think if enough people come in, they'll talk about the case, which they absolutely would not, or should not. No. But, it's a free dental checkup, so they're going to still. So, yeah. It's all, and this is where I had problems with the movie, because it's all these things that they want to connect, but they feel so disconnected. It's like, let's just throw in this, let's just throw in that. And it just fell kind of short for me. Well, and here's the thing. Jail employees don't know a lot about the case. No. They know about, how do I stay alive today? Exactly. Try not to get shanked. Yeah. How do I make sure I don't get attacked and nobody gets in fights? Mm-hmm. And, they're not looking for clues. No. Unless they're like a planted informant or something. Exactly. I mean, again, I might be talking out of my rear end here because I have never worked in a jail, but I imagine that you don't have time to be trying to do 10 jobs at once
Yeah.
when you have such a demanding job to begin with.
They're just getting people in the door and they're processing and they're trying not to get killed themselves.
Yeah.
They're not part of the trial or any of that information.
No, unless something bad happens and they get called as a witness.
Yeah. So, that was weird. But then Dolores decides to take it upon herself to book herself a spa appointment at the same place and time as Dolores and Louise, which again, I don't know how she knew.
Connie.
Oh, sorry. Dolores is the mom. Connie and Louise are going to the spa.
Yes.
Dolores shows up at the same time. Same spa. Same room.
Don't know how.
We don't know how.
Maybe the front desk guy. Maybe it's a spa at the hotel. Maybe
could be. Yeah.
But we don't see it happen.
We don't see it happen. No.
Maybe it got cut for time.
Could be.
It's possible.
Hey, and you never know. When you're editing something for time, how is this going to play out in the long run?
Yeah.
We'll just cut out this little part. It's not important. But if you are a Hallmark fan, you're going to notice these little things.
It's important.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, for sure.
So Hannah, as she's putting things together, she believes that someone is helping Lloyd Chasley from the outside. If someone is indeed helping him, they, in theory, will break into a house and steal jewels in an attempt to prove that Lloyd is innocent, that it's somebody else, that he's in jail, but it's not him.
Right.
So she and Dolores decide to set a trap and try to catch the copycat thief. Now, how they know that the thief is going to target them, they would have had to figure out who the thief was already in order to do this. So, So Hannah and Norman set up a stakeout in her mom's house. The mom leaves. The mom is all over town saying, touching her diamond necklace, saying, well, I'm leaving town and I'm not taking any of my jewels with me.
It's so unlike me.
And honestly, I thought she was hilarious.
Yeah.
But so she leaves. Hannah and Norman are on the stakeout, but suddenly the copycat cuts the power to the house. So of course they decide to go into the house where Norman proceeds to get shot in the arm.
And man, did you notice she has this little handgun? Again, I'm not a gun person. I don't have guns. Never shot a gun. Yeah. But she has a handgun with a silencer on it. Did you see the amount of kickback?
Yeah.
And when she shot it, her whole arm flew backwards. I was like, is that how that works?
I don't know. I don't know.
And she shot it with one hand like a gangster.
Yeah. She's badass.
That's her part-time gig after wardrobe assisting.
Yeah.
Being a gangster.
Yeah, so it's just a flesh wound, unfortunately. Norman is shot in the upper soldier.
In his soul.
His soul took a hit. Shoulder. Yeah. And the culprit is none other than Louise, Lloyd Chasley's daughter, which we didn't know that before. Chad, of course, rushes in and saves the day because he's been alerted. And
okay, can we go back to that? Is this some kind of prearranged conversation that they have discussed? Did I miss that? Because she answers the phone when he calls.
Yeah. But the camera doesn't like me.
Okay, so she answers the phone when he calls, and she pretends that it's the police officer, not Chad.
Yes.
And she says, oh yeah, I'm baking your cookies for you. They're your favorite. And he's like, are they chocolate chips? She's like, yes. And he goes, okay, I have to go now. And I'm like, I might come by later. And I'm like, what?
It was so weird.
Their code conversation?
Yeah.
Maybe we missed it in another movie that they've established this.
I don't know.
Because it's very weird.
And she was acting weird. So, of course, maybe that tipped him off that she must be in danger. But how did he know where to go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless I missed that, I don't know. He knew where to go and he saved the day at the last minute.
Yeah.
So
continuity here was missing
a
bit.
And again, that could have been because of editing. We don't know. But it turns out that Louise had been having an affair with Hunt. But Hunt figured out her plan to save her dad. So she poisoned him. And that's how Hunt died. So again, so many storylines going on. It's really hard to keep tracks. People are getting shot. People are getting poisoned. There's affairs. There's police. That it's just a lot.
Messy.
It's a lot.
Messy.
Mm-hmm. So Dolores' mom arrives at the hospital where she thanks Norman for saving her daughter's life, saying, "Thank you for saving Hannah's life. Now, how can she ever repay you?" And Norman responds with a smile, saying, "Well." And Hannah cuts him off and says, "Norman gets free cookies for life." And Dolores says, "That's it?" And I'm thinking, come on, Norman took a shot for you.
Yes.
And you're just going to give him free cookies.
Well,
so, anyway.
I mean, I would like to have free cookies.
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't be a bad gig. So we end with Hannah and Chad walking down the sidewalk talking about plans to finally have a first date. Now, according to the internet, they already had a first date in the last movie, which I did not see. So another continuity thing going on here. People are, because I read a few reviews and people are saying, they already had a first date. What are they talking about? Why are they doing this? Well, they won't date, apparently.
Here's the thing, guys. And I only know this from watching or listening to a lot of rewatch podcasts. I don't know if they do this for these movies, but they need a show Bible. A movie Bible that tells you everything about every character that happens in every movie.
Yeah.
So when they are changing writers, like they're doing here, you can reference that and you can see, oh, she already did this, or Hannah's allergic to kiwi, or, you know, whatever it is, these little things that, because we have the ability to binge these movies now, which when Hannah Swensen Mystery started, that wasn't really a thing.
Yeah, that's true.
And now with Hallmark Plus, that's amplified it like crazy. You can go through all the movies and be like, this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong. And
have it all cataloged, prior relationships,
different storylines. Every single bit of it written down, and before somebody can write a script, you say, here you go, read this whole thing.
Yeah.
So they may already be doing that, and they're just like, well, who cares? Let's skip it. I mean, they did that in Full House, where they were like, oh, Dani wasn't clean the first season. Oh, well. Who cares? Yeah. Now it's always been part of his personality.
That's true. Yeah, because he was a slob. The house was a mess.
They just are like, let's just change it. We're gonna do what we want.
So that's it. There's no big romance. There's no big kiss at the end or anything. And then poor Norman is just left alone to heal from getting shot
with his cookies,
protecting the woman he's been finding after for years. Yeah, with his cookies. And that was it. That was Reality Bites. So,
did you laugh out loud when Louise goes, "Don't move," or she gets it?
Yes.
I was like, what is this? Seriously, a gangster movie? What's happening?
Yeah.
Don't move, or the girl gets it.
Now look here, see, you dirty rat.
Expected her to have a fedora. Dirty movie.
Oh my gosh, we could take this back to the 20s and maybe I'd like it more. So I did read some of the reviews. They were not great. Most people didn't like the over-the-top mom character, which I love her. I think she's great. Yeah, she's over the top, but the response that I saw on the internet was they thought that she was outshining Hannah, and it's a Hannah Swensen mystery, and the mom should take a back seat. And Hannah should be in the forefront.
But that's not her personality at all.
No, she's more of a quiet girl next door.
Yeah.
Go to her job, get her stuff done.
Yeah. But I've watched a few of the Hannah Swensen Mysteries. I've definitely watched the first one. And her mom has not evolved at all. She's still very critical of Hannah, always talking about her clothes. It really bumped me in that scene, especially when she was talking about her clothes in the beginning of the movie. Yeah. Everybody else in the room laughed. Yeah. And it was so weird. I'm like, what?
And what was wrong with her clothes? She works in a bakery.
It was cute. Yeah. It was like a 70s style polo and some flares. Like, it was a very cute outfit.
Yeah.
You know, you wouldn't wear it to like a date or something, probably, but I thought it was cute. I don't know.
Well, and the mom's like costume jewelry looking chokers.
They're not real, okay? I can tell they're not real.
100%.
I like her over the top personality. She's an actor, as she said, but I would like to see a little bit more evolution in her.
Yeah, maybe have Hannah stand up for herself. at some point. That really bothers me, and it has
Mhm.
bothered me since episode 1.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, folks thought it was a little tedious and predictable. Of course, it's going to be predictable. You know what's going to happen. And confusing. A lot of people said it was confusing, which I found too. There were so many different things going on. So
Yeah.
that was it. But yeah. Reality
And
bites.
also, the prosecuting attorney showing up before the police is weird.
Yeah.
He's in the same building as the police. Wouldn't he be like, hey guys, get going?
Yeah, and I kept forgetting that he was an attorney, because when he flies over there and saves the day, I'm like, yeah, here comes the cops, and no, he's not.
He's not a cop.
He's a lawyer.
But he karate chopped that gun out of her hand.
Yeah.
So, and
In
we
his
find out
suit.
that he was a lawyer in the military too. So he wasn't military police or anything like that.
No.
Which that probably would have made a little more sense.
Mhm.
But she's like, oh no, he was a lawyer in the military. Okay, so where did he get all this super spy training?
I know, exactly. So, I mean, will I watch another Hannah Swensen? Yeah, I will. Because, I just want to see what happens next. Where's the body going to turn out next time?
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be just Hannah Swensen, find somebody who gets a DUI. It's always going to be a dead body. So, yeah, I'm here for it.
And after I've watched this, and upon reflection, because it's been like 6 months since we recorded our first episode back on our second round of podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
And what was that movie? Family Practice.
Oh, mm-hmm.
I don't think that one's coming back. I just have this feeling. I don't think it was good enough, honestly.
Although I did like Tip Line. I hope that comes back.
I do hope Tip Line.
I thought that was really cute.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna play a little game, and it's not as fun without Danielle. Just because only one person.
My answers are stupid, guys.
Only one person gets to answer, because I know the answers. So. But we'll test your detective skills, Jess, and
we'll have a producer in a few years.
Yeah, there you go. You may have already read these, because this comes from another one that we did, but it's different questions. So this is called the Empty Cell Mystery. Andy is put in a cell with a dirt floor and only one window. The window is too high for him to reach. The only thing in the cell is a shovel. He won't be able to get any food or water, and only has 2 days to escape, or he'll die. Andy can't dig a tunnel because it will take him much longer than 2 days to do it. How will he escape?
He digs a pile of dirt and then stands on it and climbs out the window.
He does. Excellent detective skills, Hannah.
Maybe I should go open a bakery now.
Okay, this next one's called Murder, and the final one, Murder at School. On the first day of school, someone murdered a history teacher. There were 4 people at the school that the police suspected had done it. The landscaper, a math teacher, a basketball coach, and the principal. These were their alibis. The landscaper said he was outside mowing the lawn. The math teacher said he was giving a mid-year test. The basketball coach said he was running practice drills with his players. And the principal said she was in her office.
When did this happen?
Oh, very good deduction. The first day of school.
Oh, there's no basketball team yet. So it would be the basketball coach?
That's a good deduction, but wrong.
Oh.
On the first day of school,
You're
someone
not giving
murdered.
a test on the first day of school.
Yeah, the math teacher said he was giving a mid-year test. Yeah.
So, but really it could be either one, because there's no basketball team on the first day of school.
That's true.
Hey, it's Jessica. Our audio cut out on this episode, and so we weren't able to record anything else after this. But that was the end of the episode. So thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you. We cannot wait to have you listen to the next episode that will be coming out in just 1 week. In the meantime, be sure to follow us on Instagram at loveonthepod, or send us any ideas or thoughts that you have on episodes to loveonthepod@gmail.com. And don't forget that we have merch available on our website, loveonthepod.com. Thanks so much, and we'll see you later. Bye.